Hi. Old African people are literally not God. Yeah, they are not God. They are not the determinants of how someone's life is supposed to be. They are not. For those who don't get it, Africa is a country where majority, the young people, are supposed to look up to the old people and follow whatever they tell you, simply because by virtue of being old, someone knows how life works. Someone literally is near to God. This culture where old African people determine how a life of a young person is supposed to run is going to stop. It is supposed to stop you all. For us to live life, to experience life fully, we have to be truly who we are. But this whole culture of parents determining who we should marry, which career path someone should take because they have seen someone's daughter be rich through that career path, so they think it's the only path that someone must take for them to be rich. They think it's the only path someone must take for them to be successful, and you believe them because by virtue of being parent, by virtue of being grown people, they know how life is supposed to be. Guys, that is not true. We need to stop this as this generation. We need to stop this ASAP. I mean, our kids are not supposed to grow up and find the same culture. Majority, the young people in Africa do not have the same achievements as their parents in our generation. I'm talking about the from 25, 20 to 30. They do not have the same achievements as their parents. What is the reason? It is because these parents stress them to do what they cannot handle. And it's quite hard for you to be successful at something you don't have a potential in. You forever work for others. You forever bring coffee and tea in offices. It is even very hard to earn a promotion when you are not good at something. Even currently, when jobs are employing, they don't consider the fact that you have a bachelor's degree or you have studied or you have a master's. No, they consider what are the skills you're bringing onto job. Talk about promotion. For you to be promoted at work, you must have done something. You must impress your boss through what you are doing, but you're not going to impress your boss through something you do not even have potential in. Everyone in Africa is just to be a nurse, to do some science course because it is the only thing that is selling. But for people who cannot handle science like me, then we are literally nothings. We are literally losses. We are supposed to die, as far as I know and as far as I've been told. But we must stop this, guys. Old people are not supposed to tell us how to run our life because by virtue of being old, they are not God. Trust me, you all, most of these old people do not even have their life figured out. They're still trying to figure out life. They're still trying this and that and that. But they want to, I don't know, they feel like more of themselves. They feel more content when they push their beliefs on you because now they know they have someone who believes them or something. They don't want to agree to the fact that they have failed, so they have to keep their limiting beliefs alive. And you are the only one who's going to keep them alive, because if you don't keep them alive, then they will know their failures. Africa is a continent where your parents is going to see what your neighbor is doing. If your neighbor is successful in that kind of thing, then you must do it. You don't have an option. You don't have an option at all. You must do whatever your neighbor is doing because your neighbor is successful. Your parent doesn't mind. Can you handle it? If you can't handle it, then you're stupid, then you're foolish, then they cast you literally. And now you're supposed to die. You're cast. You will never work out. Your life will never work out because you can't handle what someone else is doing. And yet you are not them. We deserve that kind of freedom. We deserve a freedom where we're supposed to stand up as we and express ourselves, for crying out loud. The fact that I wasn't born to be a doctor doesn't mean I'm useless. That explains why teaching is the most underpaid profession. Because in Africa, it is, I don't know, it's generally believed that for someone to make sense of their life, they must be doing a science something. You must be a doctor. You must be doing this combination, something that doesn't suit you. And so when you're born like me, a person like me who has interest in something else, then life doesn't suit you in Africa. You are as good as dead. No one cares. No one gives. Africans, we must stand up. We must stand up to all this nonsense. A leader should stand and correct this stupidity as well. Because not everyone is born to do sciences. Not everyone has the ability. Not everyone has the talents in that thing, for crying out loud. By being old, you can guide someone. These people can guide you. Fine, I agree. But they are not supposed to fucking decide for you. Do you get it? Your life is going to be forever messed up because someone decided for you. And they decided for you something you cannot handle. They don't even ask you what you are good at. They don't even ask you what you can handle as a person. No. They want to tell you what they think is right. They want to tell you how to live your life. They want to tell you which kind of person you should marry. They want to tell you how you should be. They feel like if you're being yourself, then it's not smart enough. You must be like them. It annoys me so much to realize that most of what these parents have achieved, because they have done what's good for them, most of us, the young generation or their daughters and sons, are not going to achieve even quarter of what they have achieved. Why? Because we have lived in their footsteps and we cannot be them. God has created us differently to be who we are. God cannot work in us unless we are ready to accept who we are, to accept what we are, what He's put in us, the talents, the abilities. God is not going to make you a doctor when you're not born to be a doctor. No, if you're born to be, let's say, a musician, God will only bless you in that sector because that is the sector where you have talents and abilities in. God is not going to bless you to be a good doctor, a good neurosurgeon, and yet you don't have abilities in that thing. You've literally never gotten credit in science, but you're doing it because of your parent. You're doing all these things because an old person says so. An old person says you must do this for you to make it, so that is what you're doing. You're not considering you yourself as a person. So we need to stand up. You all need to stand up. You should stop keeping quiet. And I wonder why no one ever comes out to talk about this thing. No one ever talks about it. No one ever talks about the fact that by being old, that doesn't mean you have all the brains. Not every old person has the ability to guide someone. Not every old person has the right piece of advice to tell someone. Some of us have been ruined by what we've been told. You've been told to do this. You've literally done whatever you've been told to do. But up now, nothing has worked out for you. Because guess what? You haven't embraced who you are. The only thing, they'll advise you to do everything apart from what you can handle. At least that I have learned from Africans. I've learned from African old people. People that are guiding the young ones. They will teach you, they will tell you to be anything apart from what you are naturally, what you are good at. No, that doesn't. I remember telling my mom about the course I wanted to do at campus. Gosh, she's never been more mad than she was. But after now, I still question myself, why did I do something that I didn't want to do? It is because my mom, she's a grown person, right? She's supposed to guide me. But she told me that I should never think about doing something that I'm good at. The only thing I should think about doing is something that I'm not good at. Because there is nothing good that can ever come out of me. Must be the same story as you. There's quite a lot to talk about when it comes to Africa and grown people, old people. But my take-home message is, for you, if you are an old person, you could guide these young ones, but don't decide for them. Don't make them feel like by being who they are just not good enough. They are stupid. They are senseless. They are good as dead because they are not supposed to be who they are. The only way to prove to you that they have sense is when they are what they are not. Is when you force something onto them and they accept it. Then that way you're going to accept. You're going to believe that, yeah, actually, these people have some sense simply because they have accepted what you've told them. You don't want to be challenged. You get? Old people are messing the young ones up by acting as a god, kind of. You are not a god. You are not. Old people are not gods, you all. Stop over listening to them. And guess what? The universe wants to use you only when you embrace who you are. The universe will not bless you when you're trying to be what you are not. That is a fact. Why are you burdening the universe with your prayers? Why are you burdening God when you haven't embraced who you are? No, you feel like who you are is stupid. God has put all these potential, all these beliefs, all these dreams in you. But you are deeming them as stupid, right? And you would rather be what your parent has told you to be because you feel like she's a god. They have made us believe that they are our earthly gods, and we no longer believe in our God. We no longer believe in God. We believe in our parents because they are, I don't know, I feel like old people are the perfect example of the biggest limiting belief in Africa. Old people who seem to know everything, who seem to call themselves gods. They don't say, yes, I'm God, but the way they advise you, the way they'll shout at you, the way they'll curse you, they will act like God. Just stop looking at these old people as gods. They are not God. Stop giving them power over you. For crying out loud, God has a reason why He has made you who you are, why He has put certain potentials in you. You could actually be a comedian and no, you are not going to follow that path. You would rather follow a path that is not yours. Subscribe to the channel for us to raise ourselves as Africans, for us to be listened to, for us to be heard. Let this channel grow so that people can listen to us. People can see what we are going through. We are not lazy as Africans, as they think. No, we are actually willing to put in the work. But what we are told in Africa, what the limiting beliefs we hold from our parents, from our generations, from all these old people who think they are gods, from our leaders, from our teachers, they are quite too much for us to penetrate the world of success. So you gotta subscribe to this channel for us to make sure we are heard, we are listened to. Subscribe to this channel for somebody else to listen to this and they know, okay, their mother is telling them all this, like, you're supposed to live like this, you're supposed, but that is not the truth at the end of the day. They also have a life. And most of the successful kids I've seen, most of the successful people, they haven't followed what their parents told them to do. They have stood up for who they are and they've done something they believe in. They've believed in themselves first. So guys, let's stop messing up. I gotta go now. Bye.